And then, again, I supplied, I guess at the height before the coronavirus thing, somewhere around 60 restaurants and 6 or 7 little grocery stores. I'm going to take you down to the kitchen now.
Awesome. On your way down there, so
and
tell
I
us.
will show you. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, on the
Give me
way
a
down
thumbs
there.
up.
So yeah, on the way down there, tell us a little bit about how you learned how to make the pies. Is this like a family recipe that you pulled from, or is it just?
Um, Recipes at some point are almost like a genesis of things. Like, was the original recipe that I started using something that was my great grandmother's? Probably, partially, but like, do you remember Vidalia restaurant in DC?
Yeah.
They closed last, I guess, 2 years ago. I was the pastry chef there for 7 years, and we did all their pies. And so I took some stuff from there, and I took some things from many other places. And it, like I said, it was kind of a genesis of ways to do things, and just learning production. Like the way a mom makes a single pie is going to be inherently different than how when you need to make 150 pies a day, with 3 people. It's just different. I like to use vegetable shortening in my pie crust for a bunch of reasons. The word shortening implies that it shortens the gluten strands, so you can get a much crispier product than you could with butter or some sort of vegetable oil or even lard. Lard is actually a shortening. I don't use lard, but the other word that we don't think about when you think of vegetable shortening is high ratio vegetable shortening. The high ratio implies that you can add more fat to a recipe before it fails. Basically, that's high ratio. So it gets a nice crispy crust. It gets very, very flaky. It's kind of forgiving. In some ways, other ways, it's real pain. One is that it's very soft, so it's very difficult to work with. Like your grandmother, my grandmother, would have a really hard time making a pie crust the way we do it. 2 days before the crust is used, we make the dough. Then we portion it, then it rests. It's got ice water and vinegar and what we use, white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. If you can change the pH a little bit, either direction away from neutral, it inhibits gluten development. That's another little trick thing. That's why people will use lemon juice or vodka or vinegar or whatever. But you just have to change the pH away from 7. At any rate, so we're going to head down to the kitchen. I'm going to show you some equipment, and I'm going to have you see one of my guys making a pie crust.
Awesome. So I know that your pies are a little bit bigger than normal pies that I've seen out there. What's the idea behind that? Go ahead and keep walking down there. I want to see the space, but...
You said they're a lot more what than other pies?
They're a little bit bigger than the ones that I've seen. Like they're full restaurant size, even though you're not, even though people off the street can buy them.
A 9-inch pie is great. Again, if you want to make like 6 pieces for somebody's home, but a 10-inch pie gives you 8 big restaurant-sized slices, and that you can sell to a restaurant and be like, and they can figure out their food cost very easy. So that's why we. So again, this is a commercial kitchen, not a fancy show kitchen. Let me show you. Like there's duct work, and so bear with me. It's clean, but it's Spartan. I think is probably a good word. So here's our big mixer. You can see that it's a 60-quart Viking brand, big mixer. This is our steam jacket kettle. We do soups and pie fillings and things like that in there. The building we're in is a historic building, so there was no way to put a hood system in here without changing structure, and the county would not let us. So it gets very, very hot. Here's some guys making pie crusts. Hi, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
And there's Brian over there, and Jake. So I'm going to put this over here. He's going to show you basically how we...
What kind of pies are y'all making today, Sol?
These are just generic pie crusts. We use them for all of our small pies, all of our big pies. That's the only size we do is the 7-inch small pie and then a 10-inch pie. Can you see that? Have I got it on him properly? Let's see. Oh,
there we go. Now we can see it.
So he's rolling the edge. Everything's made by hand, but again, we do big volume by hand.
How early were you up this morning making pies? I know you were busy running around earlier. How
5 something.
5 something you all have been.
When it's really busy during around Thanksgiving, we'll come in here at 2 or 3 in the morning often.
Wow.
But typically, like now, wait, I got off the pie somehow. You got to see this part. All right. Okay, here we go. So he's crimping all the edges. You see Brian in the background doing the same things.
Oh, that's cool.
Here we are. Ready? Can you guys see that good? How we do the little...
Yeah.
There's one. All right, and then I'm going to take you over here. You can see Brian doing the same basic thing. Jake doing some things. This is pies going into boxes. This is what I started right when we started doing this thing. These are blueberry pies we made today. There's stickers right here. Our blueberry pies have a layer of lemon curd in them underneath the oh, here we go. I'm trying to get the sticker of it. There we goes. I even print my own stickers. Like I try to do everything, DIY as much as possible. So there's pies getting made. Jake doing some soup stuff over here. We're gonna not show that because.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep showing us around. I'm curious. I want to know. I know you kind of rotate pies. So at one point, I want to know what the pie menu is for this week.
I can't hear you. All right. So this is the oven. We can do about 24 large pies at a time in there, or like 78 smalls at once. Bake time is about an hour and 15 minutes for a batch. Alrighty, now we're going out of the kitchen. Bye, everybody. Bye, kitchen. Oh, and now my phone's ringing. They'll wait. So we do 5 or 6 hours bake time in the morning, and then we have 3, 4, 5 hours of delivery, and that's 5 days a week. And then my phone's still ringing.
Anyone
They'll
important?
call back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, I don't know. I don't recognize the name.
Thanks for the kitchen tour. I know yesterday you were saying when we did our dry run that the kitchen's really noisy down there and it's hard to hear. But one of the things I was curious about is I've seen obviously you're making blueberry pies today with the lemon curd. What's the menu? What's the full menu for the week? I know you typically limit it to about five
We do a
pies
lot
a
of
week.
I started rhubarb earlier. They're all put away already. We also made some walnut bourbon pies, very much like a pecan pie, but with walnuts and a little bourbon, and chocolate. And
Ooh.
what else? We made fillings for tomorrow. We've been trying to do only like 3 kinds of pie a day, just because. And then, so each day, the thing about pies, which is also interesting, is they're actually better the second day. Like if you buy a pie that it was made today, it's going to be super squishy. Now it sounds great, but for a restaurant, it won't slice. You know, so I couldn't make it, sell it to a restaurant, and then have them, cut it and serve it in the same day. There has to be a day in between. It allows the flavors to kind of marry. It allows textures to kind of develop, and they get better the second day.
That's a fun fact I never heard. But that pecan Belgian chocolate one, wow, that has my name written all over it.
Oh, thanks.
What do you have a
So
personal favorite? Like,
I
what's your
think
favorite pie?
if somebody called in, I guess if somebody is called in, right, they win a pie today or something.
Yeah, I haven't spilled the beans on that yet. So
Uh-oh.
Sol has graciously offered up a free pie to someone who shares or comments on today's post, and I haven't seen any questions come through quite yet. And that could be on my end. We had a little technical difficulties getting up and running. So let me hop over to Facebook real quick and see if we have any comments or questions on the post, Sol. In the meantime,
Okay.
where can people find you? I know at one point you were in farmers markets, you had the bike, now you've got the storefront. What's the best way for people to get some yummy food?
Um, the best way is to come to my shop. The address is 2803 Columbia Pike. We open at see you, Sean. We open at 3 p.m. and we're open till 9 p.m. During the mornings and the days, we kind of take care of the wholesale thing and the deliveries to, people's houses and whatnot. And then I've got people working at night. There you go. We're open in the mornings on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, so right now in the meats with the delivery stuff, I think you were calling it like the soup line kind of. How do people?
Yeah,
Acme soup. You said Acme soup line. Is that right?
soup line.
Soup
Like
line.
another 1930s reference, Great Depression, the soup lines, and the,
Oh, nice, nice. So how do people get on that if they want that meal?
Well, I kind of pulled that out of the air as an idea of a way to generate some business. And so I don't really have it on my website because I wasn't planning for it to be like a long-term thing.
Yeah.
So only on Facebook. It's just on the Facebook page. You can see it and order stuff there. We can do up to about 50 a day. Any more than that, we'll cut it off. Don't worry, if it gets cut off, you'll just get rolled into tomorrow's, the next days, and we'll let you know.
Cool. So what's I think when I originally met you, this was a while back at a bike race somewhere. I know you are a big biker. What's the story behind the delivery bike on the screen here?
When I first started Acme Pie, I did not have a retail place. So I was selling pies at farmers markets, and I would have kids from either Phoenix Bikes or other youth bike programs, or friends of kids, friends of mine's kids. They would use these cargo bikes to bring the pies to different farmers markets. Last April, when we opened the retail place, we kind of outgrew that. In that we found the farmers market used to be literally I'm going to turn around and you can see it. It was the Columbia Pike Farmers Market, like literally right there. And I found I was just sort of competing with myself. And
Yeah.
it was at the time. So I quit doing that one. And the kid that had been working at that farmer's market now works in the store. I've got another farm I sell to out in Potomac. It's called, what is it? Common Root Farm. Every Friday we bring pies out to them, and they sell them at their market on Saturdays. But I'm not there. I just don't have the time with the retail shop.
What's your favorite pie?
So,
Do you get sick of this stuff? Like, do you still eat the pies? What's your favorite?
oh yeah. Probably that blueberry one right now is my favorite, and strawberry rhubarb. Those are, you know, the thing about favorites is like the old saying that chefs used to say was, "What's your favorite thing?" Well, it's the thing I'm making tomorrow. What's your least favorite thing? The thing I made today. You know,
Oh, that's funny.
That's not a joke. I mean, it's very much true. So, yeah, that's Acme Pie in a nutshell.
Yeah, this has been awesome, Sol. Thank you for the behind the scenes tour. Thanks for your offer to give away free pie. We don't have any questions or comments at this point. So if you're watching the replay, leave a comment or share the video with one of your friends or family members for a chance to win a free pie. I'll put you in contact with Sol and he'll get you squared away with a nice, yummy pie.
Sure.
So anything else you want to add before we call this a wrap?
It allows, using vegetable shortening also allows us to do vegan pies, where other pie companies around always have either lard or butter in their crust. And that's, well, obviously inherently not vegan. That's probably it.
So are
use
you
fresh produce every day. You know, it's as fresh as can be done with volume, you know?
Yeah, that's the tricky part. You mentioned the vegan thing, so I just had a piggyback question on that. Is the blackberry pie the only vegan pie, or are you able to switch it up given the vegetable shortening?
There's other one. Yeah, the strawberry rhubarb is also vegan. What are the vegan pies we have, Jake? Oh yeah, apple. The apple pie is always vegan. Peach blackberry. Any of our pies that don't have a crumb top, the crumb top has some butter in it, and so that makes them not vegan. But anything that has a flat top, it's a fruit pie with a flat top or a lattice, is inherently vegan.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, this has been awesome. Thank you for spending time. I know you guys have been really busy this morning, making some pies and crust and all that. So I appreciate you taking some time out. So until next time, please go get some pies from a local Arlington business over on Columbia Pike, Acme Pie Company. Thanks again, Sol.
2003.
2003. Awesome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yep.